students. This is the first chapter from science, laws of motion. So you need to understand some basic concept related to this one. So what is mean by a motion? When we say that any object is in motion, so whenever we see, perceive or sense any movement of the object, then it is called as a motion. Suppose any bird is flying, then we see that it is moving, that means it is in motion. Okay, any vehicle on the road, traveling on the road, then it is in motion. Let us understand this one. Suppose this is any object, now it is not moving, means it's stationary. When some force is applied on it, it starts to move. Okay, so when an object changes its position with respect to its surrounding, then it is said to be in motion. So when any object moves, it covers some path, maybe along straight line. So the length of the actual path traveled by an object in motion is called distance, and its SI unit of measurements is meters. Displacement, what the displacement is, the shortest distance between initial and final point of motion is called displacement, and its SI unit is also meter. Means distance and displacement have the same unit to measure, that is meters. Let us understand this with some examples. Okay, suppose a person starts to move or walk along this path from A to B and then from B to C. Okay, so this distance from A to B is 12 meters and this length of the actual path from B to C is 5 meters. Okay, now in this case you need to understand how much is the displacement, how much is the distance, and how much is the displacement. When a person moves along this straight line from A to B, the distance covered by him is 12 meters and the displacement is also 12 meters. So distance and displacement are same when the motion of the object is along the straight line. Now from B to C, when a person he turns from B to C, the distance covered by him is 5 meters and displacement is also 5 meters. And from A to C, distance, the length of the actual path traveled from A to B and from B to C, 12 plus 5, 17 meters. But displacement, the shortest distance between initial and final point A to C is 13 meters. Okay, from this you come to know that distance is always equals to or greater than displacement, or vice versa. What can we say? Displacement is equals to or less than distance. One more example in this case. Suppose this is a straight path from A to B of length 300 meter and this is the distance between B and C, 100 meters. Suppose a person starts to move on this path, then the distance covered by him from A to B is 300 meters, length of the actual path traveled. Displacement is also 300 meters. As I told you, distance and displacement along the straight line are same. Then he turns back and moves from B to C. So distance covered by him is 100 meters and displacement is also 100 meters. The distance covered by the person from A to C, the length of actual path traveled, 300 plus 100, total 400 meters. But displacement is shortest distance between initial and final point, and that is 200 meter. Okay, let us see one more example. This is a circular track of length 400 meter. Suppose an athlete starts to run along this track and completed one round. Then the distance covered by that athlete is 400 meter, length of the actual path traveled. But displacement is 0 because the starting point is the final point. So displacement is the distance between initial and final point of the motion, and that distance is 0. So here we come to know that displacement can be 0, but distance is never 0. Next concept related to this is a scalar and vector quantities. So what is meant by a scalar quantity? A physical quantity which has only magnitude but no direction is called scalar quantity. Means here these quantities, we can take the numerical values of these quantities, but we need not to know their direction, or they don't have a direction. Mass of any object, mass of an object measured in kilograms, or speed, or distance traveled, or time taken, or area of any plane figure, temperature. All these are the quantities which can be measured numerically, but they don't have any direction. Such quantities are called as a scalar quantities. And what is a vector quantity? A physical quantity which has both magnitude and direction is called vector quantity. And these are the vector quantities: displacement, force, velocity, acceleration. Look guys, this is the object. Now force is applied on it, and then it starts to move. So force, in which direction the force is applied? Yes, the force is applied in this direction. Okay, how much force is applied, it can be calculated, that is magnitude. And in which direction the force is applied, we can see by the motion of the object. Okay, in which direction the force is applied, we can observe, we can perceive it with the motion of the object, and that's why it is called as a vector quantity. Okay, means the quantity which has a magnitude as well as direction, that is a vector quantity. Next point related to this is a speed. The distance traveled by an object in unit time is called speed. And here is the formula to calculate speed. Speed equals to distance upon time. It is measured in a unit meters per second. And velocity is the distance traveled by an object in particular direction in unit time. That is called as a velocity. So speed is related to distance and velocity is related to displacement. Velocity equals to displacement upon time, and its SI unit is meters per second. As we know that when displacement can be 0, that means velocity can be 0, but speed is never 0 because distance is never 0. So these are some points for differentiation between speed and velocity, and also between distance and displacement. Okay, then next point into it is uniform motion and non-uniform motion. The motion of an object in which it covers equal distances in equal intervals of time is called uniform motion, and the motion of an object in which it covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time is called non-uniform motion. Let us understand both these concepts with the help of one example. Suppose here are two friends, Ajay and Vijay. They start to travel, and the distance covered by them in equal intervals of time after each half an hour is given in this chart. Okay, let us see. Time in clock, both they started to travel at 5 o'clock, and the distance covered by them after each half hour is taken here in the table. So at the start, the distance covered by them is 0. After half an hour, distance covered by Ajay is 15 and distance covered by Vijay is 14. After another half hour, the distance covered by here is given in the chart. So at 5:30 Ajay covered 15 kilometers, at 6 30 kilometers, at 6:30 45 kilometers, at 7 60 kilometers. Vijay covered 14 kilometers up to 5:30, at 6 27 kilometers, at 6:30 42 kilometers, and at 7 60 kilometers. If you observe, after each half an hour, distance covered by Ajay is 15 kilometers. Means he has covered equal distances in equal intervals of time. So the motion of Ajay is uniform motion. Vijay has covered the same distance of 60 kilometers, but distance covered by him in each half hour is not the same. In first half an hour he has covered 14 kilometers, then in next half an hour he has covered 13 kilometers, in next half an hour he has covered 15 kilometers, and in last half an hour he has covered 18 kilometers. Means distance covered by him in equal intervals of time is unequal. So such a motion is called as a non-uniform motion.